Hello, and welcome to this walking, shaky edition of Pep Talks. I am coming to you all the way from Leeds in the UK. I spent the last 3 days with about 100 young people, Afro-diasporic youth, inspiring them and passionately empowering them to be involved in the mission of God in the UK, in Britain, and globally. And here I am visiting a friend, the friend who invited me, and just recounting how the week has gone. And the week began with, almost a week ago, I got to speak at Richards School, which is my alma mater. And they gave me a theme about being a good example in all circumstances. And I just want to recap the 3 main points that I shared with them. Number 1, what is being a good example in all circumstances? Number 2, who should be a good example? And number 3, why must we? And I've done a blog on it. Actually, I have reproduced the entire speech, parts of which were placed in the Daily Graphic of Monday. Monday, what date was that? I forget. But yeah, Monday the 28th of August. Yeah, so if you check Daily Graphic online, there are actually 2 versions. One was done on the Sunday, I think, the day after, and one was done on Monday. And the physical one was in the paper on Monday. But basically, here are the points, and you can get the details from the video, from the blog, yapebi.com, or from some snippets from Daily Graphic. Number 1, what is being a good example? That is leadership. In fact, that insight came to me from my daughter. My daughter came to me the previous Monday morning. I was in the living room reading, and she came and said, this is our 6-year-old, who is our 5th child, came and said, Daddy, I should be a leader at Awana. Awana is a Bible training program for children. And so I asked, really, who is a leader? And she said, someone who sets an example for everyone else to follow. And I said, whoa, that's so insightful. A leader is someone who sets an example for everyone else to follow. And that actually gave me the essence of my message. All right, so if you set a good example for others to follow, that's leadership. That is what is leadership. Who should lead? Everyone. And this is important. Whether you are the boss of the place you work at, whether you are temporary staff, whether you are young, whether you are old. And particularly, I want to encourage young people. Paul, in scripture, wrote to Timothy and said, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but set an example for the believers in speech, in life, in love, in faith, and in purity. You can find that in 1 Timothy 4:12. He actually said, don't let anyone look down on you because you are young, but lead. Set the example, all right, for older ones even. So everyone should lead. I think of the time when scripture says the word of the Lord was very rare. And guess what? God spoke to a little boy. Through a little boy called Samuel, God spoke to the whole nation when all the paupers of the land, could not hear God's voice. So everyone should lead. And finally, why must we lead? Why must we set an example? Because we were born to be king. We were born to be queen. That's the stuff leaders are made of. The story is told of King Louis XVI, who was deposed. There was a coup d'etat during the time of the French Revolution, and the rebels who got him off his throne realized that he had a little boy as a son who would obviously become the heir to the throne. So they wanted to corrupt this boy, and for 6 months they gave him incredible treatment, exposed him to all kinds of enchanting foods and lustful and lewd women and vile language and all of that. But this boy never succumbed to any of that. 6 months he wouldn't succumb. Finally, out of frustration and even a bit of curiosity, they came to him and said, "Guy, look, expose you to all kinds of things anybody would die for, right? Any boy, little boy, your age who has exposure to it would die for these things. Why have you not succumbed? Why have you not even once yielded to these temptations? And the little boy said, I cannot do what you ask because I was born to be king. I was born to be king. My friends, let us lead by setting a good example. That's leadership. Setting a good example. Be a good example in all circumstances. And every one of us, whether we are 6 or we are 60, and let us do it because we're born to be kings and queens in God's kingdom. Let's not live anything less than what we're born to be. Take care and love from Leeds, the UK.